Hi, my name is Ian Trevethan, and this is Main Chorus. Every episode, I take one of my favorite songs and pair it with a dish. So tonight I'm listening to Where I'm From by the Eels, and it's a song about feeling nostalgic for home, so what better to pair with that than apple pie? Now, not just any apple pie. Tonight I'm making Deb Perelman's deepest dish apple pie. That's why I've got the springform pan here. It's kind of novel. To me, this is like the ultimate apple pie you can ever have, so let's get started making it. Earlier today, I put together the pie dough. It's very simple. 2½ cups of flour, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, in a food processor with 2 sticks of butter, which you mill down until you've got about pea-sized pieces of butter in there. Then after that, I'm adding ½ cup of ice water. That's gonna bring the whole thing together, and then at least a 2-hour rest in the fridge. So now that I've got it, I'm working from the middle, and I'm gonna roll it out, spinning it every so often, using tons of flour, because that's always gonna help, until I've got about a 16-inch round that I can add to the pan. The thing to do is to pull up about half and then fold it into quarters, and then I'm able to move it into the pan this way and fold it back out. And then I'm just gonna take a minute to kind of trim up some of the excess from the sides, and it's gonna pop back in the fridge. Now down to the apples. We're gonna need 5 pounds of apples to make the deepest dish apple pie. So I have these Golden Delish apples, which I may or may not have picked by hand today from a farm in Connecticut, guaranteeing that this is gonna be one of the best pies I've ever made. So after I take the skin off, I'm gonna cut them into 8s, and then I'm cutting them into pretty small sized pieces. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I call New York my home now, but I grew up in Michigan originally, and Michigan is famous for its apples. My mom would make really great applesauce every fall. She'd make great apple pies. So when this song talks about sometimes I miss where I'm from, that's what that's got me thinking about. I actually thought that was gonna fit, and clearly it's not going to, so I'm gonna get a little bit bigger bowl to add this to. And then, let's add some flavors to this. To the apples, I wanna add a tablespoon of lemon juice. That's just gonna make sure it doesn't continue to oxidize, but also it's gonna add really good flavor. I'm also gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon, ½ a teaspoon of salt, and ¼ teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm adding a cup of sugar. That's gonna make sure that it's plenty sweet. And then last of all, I'm adding ¼ cup of flour. That's gonna make sure that it thickens adequately as it bakes in the oven. I just grabbed the dough from the refrigerator so that I can fill it. And I'm gonna really pack these little pieces of apples in there, making sure that I'm getting it all the way to the top. And then I'm popping it into a 375-degree oven for 30 minutes. Now this pie is gonna get finished off with streusel topping. So I've got a cup and 1/3 of flour here. And to that I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of sugar. Then I've got ¼ teaspoon of salt, ¼ teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of baking powder. That's gonna give it a little bit of lift. And then I'm also adding a stick of melted butter. And I'm just gonna stir these things together until I've got some kind of crumbles. And after this comes out in a ½ hour, I'm gonna pop that on top and shove it right back in the oven to finish up.
I left it in the dust while I was so young and dumb. Ran far away, but I have to admit, sometimes I miss where I'm from.
We've come to the hardest part of this entire process. The pie is out of the oven, it smells ridiculous, and now we have to wait until it's room temperature. The wait has finally come to an end and we get to dive in. So let me see about unspringing this and gently sneaking it off here. Oh my gosh, it looks really, really good. As E from the Eels sings in this song, we can't forget each other's company and all the good times we had. This dish conjures all kinds of memories of home and of good times for me. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Trevethan. This is Main Chorus. I'll catch you next time.